This episode is brought to you by Bulletproof Script Coverage, where screenwriters go to get their scripts read by top Hollywood professionals. Learn more at covermyscreenplay.com. Well, first of all, I mean, you've written all these amazing movies and worked with amazing people, but I mean, obviously the top of your mountain was writing for the Muppets, obviously.
They were my favorite experience. Brian Henson and I just exchanged notes recently on his birthday.
Yeah.
That was the I guess that's the cat's pajamas or the bee's knees or nuts. I mean,
you're working with the Muppets.
It was totally unexpected. Brian and I had met during Hook and another book that we wanted to do, Paul Gallico's A Man of His Magic, which is a Gallico novel I'm adapting now. Mm-hmm. And we'd met and liked each other, and he came to me. Disney was going to pull the plug on Muppet Treasure Island. Mm-hmm. They didn't like where it was going, and they came to me and Brian said, "Well, you read the script. We're about to lose this project, and we're having problems. Can you just read it and give me some feedback?" And I read it, and there was no human beings in the script. There was no Jim Hawkins. There was no Lon John. So they were all Muppets.
But by the way, for people who are not catching up, you wrote Treasure Island, Muppet Treasure Island.
Yeah.
Because people might not know.
I came in and put my oar in the water with great people like Jerry Jewell and
Sure.
Bill Bottolata and stuff like that. But and I read it and said, "There's no humans. You can't make this movie with no humans. You can't have Jim Hawkins be a puppet and Lon John Silver be a puppet. You can't do it. It's like Lucas when he first did Star Wars. They were all robots. And you got to have the human being element.
Is that true? Wait, is that true? When Star Wars, when he first wrote it, everybody was
CPO. It was CPO and R2D2. They were the heroes.
Okay, right, and then Luke showed up afterwards. Got it.
So we woodshed it up at my house in up in the Hudson River, and actually Brian's brother lived nearby, and we snowstorms and piles of snow. So we spent 3 days working on the script, and the reason there were no humans in the script is that Frank Oz did not like to work with children. He's got 12 of his own, but he doesn't like to work. And so I said, well, let me write some scenes and see if we can convince Frank differently. So we wrote some scenes, and they loved the scenes because I brought some humanity back into the story, especially the relationship between Jim and Lon John Silver. Has been a seminal relationship in my upbringing about villains. I mean, I have a whole thing on villains, why they're the good guys. Mm-hmm. And so we were able to do that emotional connection between Jim and Lon John. Keep all the jokes in, keep all the stuff in, But the funny part was casting the Muppets in their various roles because they are like movie stars.
Yeah.
I mean, I would suggest they're having a hard time casting Kermit. So I would suggest that, and Brian would say, "Nah, Kermit won't play that role. He won't be good in that kind of part." Oh, okay. And what do we do with Miss Piggy? But she had to have just the right role, or she wouldn't do the film. She wanted a bigger trailer or something. So you begin to understand that this world of Muppets is like an archaeological dig. They have a history the way movie stars have a history.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Incredible. And the people that created the character are the only ones that could do them. There was a big controversy when Jim died if they were going to continue Kermit.
Oh, wow.
So, and that's what's interesting. I mean, when Frank Oz's hand goes up Miss Piggy's skirt, he's Miss Piggy. Nobody else is Miss Piggy but Frank Oz. So that was interesting to see that the Gonzo and Rizzo, I can't remember the performer's name, but they were created by the puppeteer, by the Muppeteer. Mm-hmm. So as long as they were alive, they did the characters. Then you had other Muppeteers who came in and did ancillary characters, but casting Kermit and casting Miss Piggy was the most difficult part of the show.
Wow.
We made Miss Piggy Benjamina Gunn, who'd been marooned on the island and had a string of pirate lovers, including Lon John Silver. And actually, it was fun to watch Frank work on set because he would stay in character even between takes.
Did he? Are you serious?
I have a better line than that. That's a terrible line. Brian, let's shoot it again. You know, who wrote this shit? And Brian and Miss Piggy would have a dialogue, you know, between takes with Frank as Miss Piggy. Same thing with Steve. Same thing with Steve Whitmire, who did Kermit. They would normally stay in character between takes unless they took a break and
Right.
And then when my kids were with me on the set in London, and we had, they're alive. I mean, they don't have eyes their eyes don't move. They don't have, you know, they're not marionettes.
Right. No.
You know, they don't have, you know, and we're leaving the set, and actually the set are saying goodbye to Brian at the end of the day, and there's a whole trolley full of all the Muppets hanging impaled on their spikes, you know.
Oh my God.
And Julia, who just directed her fourth film, she was, I think, 10 then, when she freaked out, said, "Oh my God, they're dead. You know, I don't want to see this." I mean, suddenly their eyes
No, of course.
were like,
Right.
So it was, and getting to work with Jerry Jewell and the whole Muppet Henson team was extraordinary.
Wow. It must have been so much fun working with them.
Such a culture of caring, and talk about character. You know, I mean, those characters don't change. They're like movie stars.
No,
they
absolutely.
always play themselves.
My Kermit the Frog I grew up with, which was Jim, and the Kermit the Frog that lives today, the character is the same. All his principles are the same. Miss Piggy's is the same. Gonzo's is the same. Fozzie's is the same. They're movie stars, but they're actually it's fascinating.